welcome back to Total Spotfest. JJ Brownlee, Jamie Faulkner coming at you after a long weekend of wrestling. Lots of great wrestling going on. We have a AEW pay-per-view that we're going to talk about, and with that comes a little hardware. So we're going to see, does the Total Spotfest belt return to its rightful owner, its creator, or stay with the devious Faulkner World Order? We shall see momentarily here. But we also got some Sacrifice pay-per-view. We're not going to talk about Control Your Narrative because why? But that happened, by the way. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, it did.
Oh, it
That's
did.
right.
Yeah, they had like 70 people show up in like it looked like a Journey Pro show if Journey Pro didn't know how to put on a promotion and just, was about a third of the size. So,
Okay.
Braun Strowman was already talking
got
shit.
Journey Pro knows how to do the shit.
We got Journey Pro stuff we're going to talk about too, because there's some really cool stuff that happened yesterday and all sorts of stuff coming at you. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We do appreciate it. If you are checking us out on YouTube, do us a big favor. Hit the like button down below. Subscribe if you want to hear more. You can get notified when we put out stuff. We started a new we're trying a new thing out, because we talk to a lot of wrestlers, become friends with a lot of wrestlers, and we got the interviews that we do. We release those on Tuesdays usually, right? So we want to do something different, and so we started doing, instead of Total Spot Fest, we're calling it Total Pop Fest. Like, as in,
like one of these guys that's probably getting blurred out right now.
Yeah.
Billy Madison.
I'm not gonna blur him out. Don't worry. But no, as in like, pop culture things, right? So we're gonna spend some time with wrestlers, not talking about wrestling. And we did our first one. We released it yesterday, I think it was.
Yes, it was yesterday. Yes,
it's
Wednesday the 9th.
It's time's a flat circle especially this month. I don't know what's happening, but no. But we go check it out. There'll be a balloon popping up over here if you're watching us on YouTube. If not, just search back on any of our channels: Spotify, Amazon, Apple. It's all there. We did a review of the Batman with one of the best up and coming wrestlers there are. Our good friend JDX. The X stands for, or the D stands for, definitely like the movie. And that's all I'm going to give you. Go check it out. So,
and it also does a Chicago crab, aka Lion King. Shh, we won't get into that.
And
we're still going to get into that.
we always get into that.
My favorite move.
It's like your fifth child.
Or my first.
Okay, well, I'm moving on squarely from that because I don't want to anger any of the daughters. So,
they don't watch.
Yeah, who cares, right? Audrey would if she was older.
Yeah, she really wants to meet Heidi Howitzer, like bad.
We could probably make that happen.
Oh, we could so make that happen.
We can make that happen. So let's make that happen. Did you get your tickets for DWF yet?
No.
You should probably do that because you'll forget. I'm just saying.
100%. I know. It's just giving me and her, I believe. So.
Yeah, get yourself a post to put on your monitor. So, DWF coming up here in April. Journey Pro, like we had made mention last week, had their big announcement of a permanent home. They have their own facility. They had some pictures they released last night. It was around the time, shortly thereafter, of Dynamite, where they were setting up the ring inside their facility. And holy room to spread out, Batman. It looked good.
That place is going to get loud. And the other big announcement, I don't think we actually
No, because that was this past Monday it happened. So give it.
Yeah. They officially, ladies and gentlemen, have their own wrestling school with certified trainers. Hoodie Howlett of the Howlets. Heel shit, obviously.
Hashtag heel shit.
And then Moonshine Mantell, who's also a proprietor of the Heel Shits as well. So they have those two guys as head trainers. Very excited for the future of wrestling in the Kansas City, honestly, Midwest area, that they have such great trainers and an awesome venue location to train. So this is really, really great for the future of wrestling in Kansas City. I think this is really great. I'm just pumped, especially it's put on by some good people.
100%. And one of the best things about it is that you can, if you want more information, go to journeyprokc.com. They got a whole link that explains it all. Pricing is there, the whole 9 yards. They're doing different levels of wrestling, so intermediate, or you've been in the business for a bit. They have intro stuff they'll be starting eventually, not at the very, very beginning, but I think in May they'll be starting some intro level stuff. So if you've ever wanted to test your chops, it's not that expensive really to kind of try it out. Get in there, learn from two of the best around in the Midwest for sure, and give it a shot. And they're going to have also, I can't remember if this was in talks with Chris and Walter, because I went to Chris Bowery's house for to watch Revolution this past week, and I can't remember if we talked there, if it was on the post. I don't have it in front of me, but they're going to bring in guest seminars as well, because a lot of wrestlers do that. They'll have like 2-day things where they'll be in a location, they'll do like a 2-day kind of seminar blitz, doing what they perfect. So if someone's a high flyer, they're going to talk more about maybe high fly spots, or they talk about if somebody's really good at promos, so they might come in and do a promo class, and psychology and all that stuff. So yeah, that is, it's great to have Journey Pro in its own spot, a bigger spot, but really having the school, that's the big takeaway, right? That's the big ins. Okay.
They are even going to do referee training. They're even doing referee training. Like, I'm seriously like, man, that'd be fun to be a ref, man.
I could see you as a ref. I would be, I don't know if I could have the chops for it. I could be a manager for sure. I could be that dirty heel manager, but I could see you as a ref, Jamie.
Just being a complete asshole ref. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Well, we shall see. Like I said, journeyprokc.com, more information. Follow their socials. If you're in or near Kansas City and you want to get into wrestling, maybe you just want to give it a try. Maybe, hey, I just want to take A-Class, see what it's like, right? They're doing all that good stuff, so check them out. All right, so let's talk about this past weekend to start, because we have some business we got to get off the table before we get any further, and that is
hold on, but before we get there, we might as well just your 4-time champ, reigning, defending, undisputed pay-per-view champion.
You have the little you have the little mini belt down below your name there, but you gotta, okay, fine, have the belt with you there just for good measure. So
I'm holding on to it. I might lose it right now.
Jamie is the current inaugural reigning defending. He is our current Total Spotfest champion. And he has won 4 in a row. You see the records right there. I got what our records were. They're deceiving, because it looks like JJ has no idea how to pick things. But I keep losing on overtime.
It's true.
All the time. So anyway, this is going to be my moment. So we did our picks, and we're going to change it up this time. I'm not going to go through every single pick and this and that. We're going to make it. We're going to get the business matter out of the way. Then we're just going to talk about the pay-per-view to have some fun with it. So
yes,
the picks came in, and it was interesting, because immediately I look at these picks, and I texted Jamie as soon as he had. We have a little online doc we use to kind of keep the picks housed, right? So as soon as he had them up there, I text him and I go, "Me and Megan differ in one match. What the F is with my life?" And we did. We were the exact same card, buy-in all the way through the regular pay-per-view until the main event. I had Adam Cole. Both of them had Hangman retaining. So that's what we had. Jamie was quite a bit different. So he was different on the House of Black, Death Triangle, and Redbeard match. He picked Death Triangle, Eric Redbeard. Megan and I picked the House of Black. He also was different on the triple threat tag team match where both Megan and I picked Red Dragon. Jamie picked Jurassic Express, which is they're not called that anymore officially, I don't think, which is stupid.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
we're still going to call them that. Jurassic Express to retain. And he was different from me as well on the main event, but he differed from both Megan and I in the Face of the Revolution ladder match, where he picked Wardlow and both Megan and myself picked Keith Lee. And that one, I kicked myself in the balls for not, because I was, especially after last week we talked about it. It was like, it does have to be good. But I was sticking with my initial guns. I said Keith Lee from the start. I was going to stick to it. And that was a mistake.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you've watched this pay-per-view or know what happened in this pay-per-view, then you know where this belt resides.
You can do the math. The end score was that, because we all missed out. Chris Statlander lost on the buy-in, which was, it was some shadiness by Layla Hirsch, and that's good and all. So we all missed that. Jamie missed Death Triangle because House of Black, who I'm gonna talk about them in a second, they won. Keith Lee did not win. Wardlow did win the Face of the Revolution. Red Dragon did not win the belts. Jurassic Express retained the belts, and it got to that point where we're like, because Jamie said was watching the pay-per-view differently from me, and he's like, and I'm like, did you just win? I think you just won. And he goes, I think I did. Now let me double check. So I pulled it up on my phone. I'm looking at it, and because of the way it came down, Megan basically was eliminated, which made me very happy at this point. Very happy, not gonna lie. So I did the math, and I'm like, here's how it goes. If Hangman wins, you win. If Adam Cole wins, we go to the tiebreaker, which I was not looking forward to because I know that I did not put a big enough time on that main event.
I did.
Jamie was like 4 minutes over what my time was, and it was over his time as how long the match was. And as soon as I got done, I go, God damn it, but it didn't matter. Hangman won. Your continued Total Spotfest pay-per-view champion. Now 5 pay-per-views in a row is Jamie Faulkner.
5 times.
Well, Booker. And update
5 consecutive. That is
5 consecutive. Updated record as you see on top there. We got plenty to turn us around because WrestleMania is coming up. We have.
Oh, does that count? I thought we weren't going to do WrestleMania this year because it sucks.
We didn't. We never said we were or were not going to do WrestleMania. So we probably weren't going to do many of the WWE ones, but you never know.
Brock Lesnar is going to put over Roman Reigns. The end.
I know it's the only match that Vince cares about. Although Stone Cold's going to be there, he's going to fight Kevin Owens.
He's not wrestling.
It's going to be
per JR.
It's
It's
going to be a thing. It'll be like when The Rock showed up with Ronda Rousey. Who cares, right?
Yeah.
We may do that. We may not. I do know that also coming up here in April is Rebellion from Impact Wrestling.
Is that one of their big ends?
Yes, it is. One of their big 4.
I'll win that too.
We shall see about that, good sir. So, all right, congratulations to Jamie, retains the belt. Highlights of the pay-per-view, because yes, for life, we got you. I mean, but that belt looks so goddamn good.
It does. It looks even better when it's on my shoulder.
So let's pivot and let's talk about the pay-per-view here. All right. So
yes, let's talk about the pay-per-view in which I won.
Highlights of the pay-per-view. For me, they go like such. First of all, there's a lot of matches going on with this. They had 3 matches on the buy-in. I don't think they've had 3 matches on the buy-in before.
Nope. Most it ever had was 2. This is the first time they got a third one in there, and my goodness, that third one was a doozy. Up until halfway through the show, it was my match of the night.
I mean, it was amazing, and it was added last Rampage. So on Rampage, they had Alex Abrahantes came out in his old Demon Priest thing with Death Triangle. They're challenging. They want to challenge the House of Black to a 6-man tag. And, that House of Black shows up, and Malachi is talking about how wonderful it is of him to sacrifice himself. And Alex goes, "Oh, we're a man down, but I'm not going to be that person stepping up. We have other friends." And Eric Redbeard shows up. So that's what the match was. House of Black with one of the best entrances of the night. I said one of. For a very good reason. But it was amazing versus Death Triangle. Eric Redbeard, loved it. That match was great.
Yeah, all the way around. It was an excellent match, and we got it for free, basically. Actually, we did get it for free.
It was on YouTube. You can go watch it on YouTube right now for free. The whole damn thing. It was great.
Oh,
Hook got his pay-per-view debut. Beat QT Marshall,
and he looked good yet again.
He did, and it wasn't just a quick little wham bam, thank you, man. So he's showing good wrestling chops here. Let's get him in a real thing. Let's see what's up. You had Jericho and Kingston was cool. I like that. I
really like that, and it opened the show, which surprised the shit out of me.
I really thought it was going to be the tag triple threat, which which makes sense to me in my head, but then of course they ended with a 6-man tag match to end the buy-in. So a singles match, booking wise for people there, probably made more sense. Whatever. It was a good match. It was a very good match, and Kingston won and did not get a handshake. We'll come back to that momentarily.
Putting a pin in it.
Jade Cargill beat Tay Conti. Jade Cargill is getting over more and more. She's learning how to properly work a crowd. Very impressed. She
came out in Jade Mortal Kombat gear, and I'm like,
I was just kidding.
Fuck yes! Like, I got so excited when I saw it. I'm like, oh shit, she's Jade, and she's Jade.
Mm-hmm. There was.
I like the play.
Jade being Jade. Yes, most definitely. The kiss of death too. Because to start the match, she is up and pulls Tay Conti and gives her a big old smack on the lips, and to which all of us, men were just, okay, please, yes. But
can you replay that?
She clarified it's her kiss of death. So, okay, cool. I like it. You've finally got some character going on. I'm good with all this, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other women's match, Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker, was an excellent match, I felt.
Mm-hmm.
But Britt Baker had all her cronies with there. Thunder Rosa had this match won literally 3 times. She tapped once and had her pinned twice, but Rebel kept getting involved. And numbers always add up. Britt Baker did retain. We all missed that too. We all picked Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, we thought that was her time, but I think now
pin.
We'll put a pin in that.
Put a pin in that too. The tag team match was what you expected from Jurassic Express, Red Dragon, and Young Bucks. It was a spot fest.
Bonkers. Just bonkers.
It was just spots over spots. First of all, how many pile drivers were there on this frickin' pay-per-view?
That is a great question.
Tay Conti did a pile driver.
Tay Conti did one. CM Punk did one. Well, he did Tombstone, and his Tombstone looked disgusting, by the way. Like, it looked like it actually hurt him.
There was like 2 or 3 in this match. You had, there was one of the Young Bucks, I think it was Nick, did a springboard off of the ropes onto a Canadian Destroyer on a Luchasaurus. And so many pile drivers the whole pay-per-view. This match was great, though. Mm-hmm. And it's definitely... The animosity is not done between Red Dragon and Young Bucks. They're continuing the story for a little bit longer. Just like they're continuing, and I'm going to do the main event here because my 2 favorite matches I want to save for some extra talking time. But the main event here, these last 3 singles matches were all stellar. 4.5 stars probably each. One of them I'm going to give more.
Minimum.
One of them I'm definitely giving more. But Adam Page, Adam Cole.
You giving more than 4.5 stars? Holy shit.
Well, as I said, I got to percolate for a few days. I gave 5 stars to Thunder Rosa and Britt when we talked about it.
Took you a week. Yeah, it took me 5 minutes.
I had to think about it. I can't just jump out and say, boom, it's 5 stars guaranteed. So my camera fell there. Sorry about that. But I mean, they had all the great spots. They did the backflip, middle air super kick that he did on Ricochet. They did that again this time against Hangman, and it looked just as good. I mean, everything was fantastic about this. At the end of the day, though, Paige ended up retaining the title, and I don't think they're moving away from this storyline. People are like, well, what's that going to do for him next? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be that? And I'm like, I think they're staying with Cole for the hot minute.
They should, because it's a great rivalry, and now there's a chance that Kenny could be back sooner, because we had a Don Callis sighting at the freaking pay-per-view.
They played Kenny Omega's music, and it was like, holy shit, he's going to make an appearance. And here comes Don Callis. And the heat that was felt, not just from the arena, but from everybody that was in the room that I was at, was palpable. It was great. I loved this. Don Callis, I don't care what you think about him. He is a fantastic heel manager. Probably the best in wrestling right now, and up there for all time. Sure. I mean, he's up there with Heenan, in my opinion, at least recently.
That's a bold fucking statement, sir.
I think he can do it. He can make it. He's great. Anyway,
Heenan might be the greatest heel manager of all time.
I think Heenan is the greatest heel manager of all time. Although
or just manager, period.
You could say, well, you got Jimmy Hart, because Jimmy Hart played both sides of that coin in his career.
Yeah, he's probably the most well-rounded, but if you want straight heat ego...
straight heel, it's Heenan by far. Yep. And I love Father James Mitchell, so I mean, I want to put him up there, but Heenan is on a pedestal himself, and
why does everybody say I put it on a pedestal?
What does that even mean? Who he's not going to be facing for the title is definitely not going to be Jon Moxley or Bryan Danielson. We'll talk about that later when we get to Dynamite. This match was ultra violence incorporated. It was the match we thought it would be. It was great. It was fantastic. And
in my opinion, this match for me was perfect.
Perfect match for you. Okay, I can understand.
Perfect match for me because it had everything for the most part, other than a lion tamer, obviously. But
spoiler: no lion tamers this pay-per-view.
Technical wrestling, a go-go. Like both of them put on a beautiful clinic there. It also had that nice, strong style brutality that I'm really into as well.
Yep.
And from Mox, and the way that these guys just made a symphony and told a story. Oh my goodness. Like, it was a 5-star in my opinion. Like, that was a 5-star match for me. It wasn't the best match of the night either, and that's saying something.
I mean, yeah, to each his own. Like, I would probably give it 4.5, 4 3/4. Is my thought. My 5-star match, my favorite. Oh, sorry. Before I get to that, one of the most stellar things that happened is after the match, because we had there's four AEW pay-per-views a year. And so they usually have big announcements that they'll do at the pay-per-views, right? And they had that. They had a official contract signing. Shane Swerve Strickland. And that was great. That was good because we knew it was going to happen. And they didn't add anybody to the Face of the Revolution ladder match. Like we thought they might, but I'm good with it this way too. You want to give the people who are there their due, let them shine as they will, and
they did,
and then make it work. 2 other matches, and one of them was wedged between the match I'm going to talk about in just a few minutes and the main event, which was Adam Cole and Adam Page.
So, are we holding on what happened after that match?
Oh no! I totally skipped over that because we're talking about.
You sure did.
Yeah, because that was the thing. Because hey, it's been a week. JJ said it. No. So you had Swerve show up, but also after the Danielson and Moxley match, they were going to maybe shake hands. No, they're going to just fight each other more, and security guards come out, they get thrown out of the way. They just keep brawling and brawling and brawling. So somebody has to come to actually break this up. William Regal decides to fucking come down the ring. William fucking Regal, who comes out, all the security guards just pussy out and run away like they should. Yeah. And they're both sitting there. He said War Games and he left. That was it. No. But Dan, I love
That would have been amazing.
if he's got to say War Games at some point in his run here. But he comes out and then Danielson's all like, yeah, because everybody knows that's his mentor, right? Most definitely.
Mhm.
He's helped groom him through a lot of his career, right? And so he's berating Moxley. And Moxley and him have a very, a different type, but a very mentorship-esque, in a different way, relationship as well. And he's just going to town on him and just fucking slaps him. And then gives him a headbutt with his bloody head and gets blood all over his head. Then he turns over to Danielson, who's just like, yeah, and he slaps his bitch ass too. And it's like dad's coming and making them play nice, and they shake hands, and it's like, what does this mean? We found out last night. So, well, if you don't know, we'll talk about it in a few minutes. If you do know,
Which I have an idea for their team name, by the way.
Yeah. Well, hold on to that so we get to it.
I will.
So the surprise of the night, by far, was the Tornado Triple Threat Tag Team match, which was wedged between CM Punk and MJF, which we're still going to get to, and the main event. Usually what they do is if they have two massive card matches, they'll put them at the end and put something in the middle. When we were at All Out in Chicago last year, they had CM Punk's debut match. They had Paul White versus the whole QT Marshall faction, and then they had Kenny Omega Christian, right? So they had something in the middle there, a palate cleanser of sort, and we all assumed that's what this would be. Never mind the fact that on Friday night, one of the best matches of the weekend happened, and it was that triple threat match between Andrade, Darby Allin, and Sammy Guevara for the TNT title. That match opened Rampage, and that match fucked. It was so good.
It was so good, yeah. It was ridiculous.
It gave me shades, and I know this, you're going to be floored by this, but it gave me shades of AJ Daniels Joe.
That's a bold statement right there.
It's a very bold statement, but it was about a 17-minute match, give or take. Maybe 18 minutes tops. It covered one commercial break, and it was all go. That's why it reminded me of Styles.
All go, no breaks, all gas.
No filler. I'm sitting there like zooming in on my thing on my computer to watch the picture-in-picture because it's still just like action. But
that's awesome.
So we all thought it's going to be a whatever. And it wasn't. This thing started off with a fire. They immediately just took Jose, put him in a chair, put a trash can on top of him, and then Darby did one of his ridiculous tope suicidas onto Jose. Him and Sammy were having a "Can you top this spot?" segment. Everything about this was great. I don't know why they went and they just started pulling weapons out the ass. Remember, we just got done with the dog collar match, and they're just still saying, "Fuck it, we could do this too." They go fighting all over the arena. They get 4 tables set up, the double decker of tables, two on two, right, up by one of the entrances to the mezzanine, and but one member of Private Party, because Mark Quinn eventually came out, right? You got more than just the 3 AHFO members that were supposed to be in the match. You had, but anyway, so he comes out.
And the Butcher and the Blade come out too.
Butcher and the Blade
that's who set up before.
Oh, that's who set up. Because I think it was the Blade that was on it was one of them that was on the table. And you have Matt Hardy and Sting on top, punching back and forth. Sting hits Matt Hardy, gets on the railing, and does a splash onto the Blade, onto the 4 tables. And you're like, that man's 62. What the fuck is going on now?
Yeah. If you had Sting doing a through 4 tables spot on your bingo card, let me know.
You win 2022. You do. It's over.
You win. Like, go buy yourself a damn lottery ticket and then send a couple bucks our way.
I mean, and then of course you had Sammy Guevara has to jump off of whatever's tallest in the arena. So he does a Spanish fly of Isaiah Cassidy off of one of the entrance Triton boards onto 2 tables. He overshot the first table and Isaiah definitely got a concussion out of that son of a bitch.
Oh, they landed flush on the second one though. They landed perfect on the second
one looked perfect. Just the other table that was right next to it that was the problem because it was.
I mean, they still got it. Yeah, but they got it with their hands.
Yeah, it didn't break. So, anywho, it was fantastic. It was glorious. Is that my mythical 5-star match that I'm giving tonight? No.
It was good though. It was fun. That was a fun match.
It was a lot more fun than I expected it to be.
Mm-hmm.
MJF, CM Punk, dog collar match, 5 stars, amazing from start to finish. It started with MJF. MJF got like super heat like he always does, and then you don't get Cult of Personality, but you got AFI, Misera Cantera, and I'm probably mispronouncing that. I always do, but off of their was it Sing the Sorrow album. Sing the Sorrow, one of their fantastic.
Yeah, it's Misery. It's Misera. Sorry.
Can you pronounce it better than I?
Yeah, I can. Miseria Cantare.
Miseria Cantare. It's referred to, is also known as In the Beginning, but it was CM Punk's entrance when he was in Ring of Honor. So that starts playing. So all the email nerds and all the punks out there like me, just like going to town.
Well, as soon as I started hearing it go, I knew exactly.
Ring of Honor marks are like and then Punk comes out and he's wearing white and black XXX. His Ring of Honor gear, the baggy pants with the XXX on one side, Punk on the other, black jacket, 3 white X's on the back, and you're like, what fucking year is this, right? I feel like Robin Williams and Jumanji.
He's got Steve on his jacket just like he used to. Yeah, he's always had Steve.
Yeah. So, talk head games, Punk can play. And, oh my God, this match. It was brutal and bloody and paced impeccably. Everything was done fantastic. Punk got busted open real early in the match, and he was just, he got busted open last week on Dynamite, and so that probably helps his cause. But he just crimson mask from the start, and he is gushing blood half the time. He's like Ric Flair in '98. Gushing blood just is everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. So, and at one point in time, Punk, MJF gets knocked out of the ring, and he goes outside, and he goes under the ring. He blades himself, right? But they're both bleeding. It's great. All sorts of spots, utilizing the chain, every creative way possible. The storytelling, everything. I could go on this for a mile on this. But perhaps the part that gave it 5 stars for me was the story arc with it, right? So the pacing was great. The violence was fantastic. Nostalgia was cool. But at the end, he calls out Wardlow, your Face of the Revolution winner, right? He calls him out. Wardlow comes down. He can't find the damn ring. He knows he has it somewhere. He just can't find that diamond ring. That gives Punk enough time to hit a go to sleep. And then he sits there, and after he gets to go to sleep, he's sitting there and he's staring at Wardlow. And Wardlow just goes, "Oh yeah, I remember. It's in this pocket." He puts the ring down, looks at Punk, and leaves. Here's his turn. We called it. Stamp. You called this months ago.
I sure did.
You called it. So there's a stamp over there for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Stradamus strikes again, and Punk uses the ring, gets the pin, gets the victory. Fantastic. Like I said, I don't know if it's telling that the 2 matches that I have definitely gave 5 stars to have been such bloody affairs. That tells more about me than anything else. But hey, it is what it is. I think I gave 5 stars to what was it? It was Phoenix Omega. That too got 5 stars from me. But and Escalade de la Muerte and the cage match. See, I just love blood and violence. Okay, cool. There it is.
So this match for me had the other one was like a perfect one built for me. That's why I'm giving it a 5 star. This one was perfect in general. Like this, you hit the nail right on the head, in my opinion, of the storytelling that this match did. You know, from MJF grabbing a mic and then putting it in CM Punk's face, and he's like, "Eat shit, Max." You know, things like that, and the story arc of them getting bloody and using the chain as a weapon. Like freaking Punk had welts on his back. Like, holy crap, ladies and gentlemen! Like this match had everything you want, and this is definitely. I mean, we are on March 9th of the year. I mean, March 10th when this is coming out, but this might be a match of the year candidate right now.
It's a contender for sure in my book. For sure, it's
a high contender
right now.
I don't know. Right now, I can't think of anything that will have this level of storytelling that could top this. The only thing that I can see that would have this level of storytelling will be Kenny Omega and Adam Cole. That will have the storytelling.
Which will happen eventually. And the thing is, like you said, we got plenty of time for the rest of the year to build up. They didn't take them a year and a half to build this story. It took them, 4 months. So, plenty of time. But to your point, yes, from beginning to end, this was all fantastic. And this ending was the best culmination there could be. So, let's see where we go from there. So that was Revolution. AEW.
What are your thoughts on Revolution, ladies and gentlemen? Did you think it was as amazing as we did? Because I thought top to bottom is one of the best pay-per-views, definitely for the year, but probably I think it was better than Full Gear. I really do, top to bottom.
I would put it better than Full Gear. I wasn't the biggest, like people were like raving about Full Gear, and I loved Full Gear, but I didn't think it was like their best, right? I thought All Out was much better. I think this was better than Full Gear. That's my opinion.
That's where I'm at. But so just let us know. Put in the comments below if you're following us on YouTube, following along on YouTube. Hit us up at Total Spotfest on Twitter. We're gonna respond. When I say we, I mean me.
But
just be prepared. Just expect a Lion Tamer quote coming at you.
Lion Tamer quote in a movie gif. It's coming your way. So. We got another pay-per-view we're going to get to in a minute here. We're going to talk about Sacrifice because that was a surprisingly under the radar banger of a show.
Totally forgot about
it. It got lost in the shuffle. And that's I'll talk about it in a moment here. Let's talk about numbers from the past week here. So what you have numbers prepared, Jamie?
I do. I really do.
If I didn't set him up, he will bitch about that. Not here. Not while we're recording. It'll be tomorrow when we're working, and I gotta call him about something. And he'll be like, I'm
gonna need you to come in tomorrow. All right. So this week in numbers was very interesting. Basically, the first half of the week did not do so well, but the last half of the week did. And when I say half, like Thursday, Friday. Spoiler. So Raw was down, the former flagship of WWE, from 1.825 million to 1.753 million. So that's a
good chunk.
75,000. Yeah. 75,000?
Yep. And interesting to see here too. I guess it might not really affect Raw so much, but because I know NCAA tournament's starting here soon. But then again, it's like, well, that doesn't really affect Mondays, so
that's gonna affect Thursdays and Fridays.
I was gonna say Thursdays and Fridays for sure. We'll see.
This is the time Jamie makes money. All right, NXT. Ooh,
that bad?
Took it in the junk pretty hard. They were at 612. They went down to 551.
Okay.
Their second lowest ever on USA.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Then AEW is back under a mil. Barely, but they were. They went from 1.010 to 966 on their go home too, and that was a really solid go home.
That's also not a big bump, I don't think. It's 50,000 down, and
yeah, it was a little bit over 50.
Demo was still over 3. I mean,
yeah, they were still very high in their demo. So I know people are like the demo, whatever.
Demo. Yeah. It's Eric Bischoff, but he means people. Oh, the demo's stupid. Nobody pays attention to the demo. It's like, Shut up.
No one pays attention to Eric Bischoff anymore. All right, now this is where things start to turn. Impact was up, ladies and gentlemen. They went from 111 to 131,000. So a cool 20,000 more people.
And you could say maybe it was the Bullet Club effect. I don't know. Their main event was a Bullet Club bonanza, 8-man tag, weapons included. You can watch it on their YouTube for free. It's worth it. It was fantastic. Jay White, Girls of Destiny, just obliterating each other with trash cans. Yes, please. So I'm not saying that's why, but I mean, come on.
Hot take time. Girls of Destiny are in the top 3 tag teams in the world right now. Hot take.
That's not really a hot take. That's a fact. Okay.
Shh.
I'm just saying.
SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen, was up as well. That they went from 2.114 to 2.261. The Tribal Chief strikes again.
Okay.
And then Rampage was up, ladies and gentlemen. They went from 473, their lowest, to 545. So back to about usual for them.
Yeah.
And like we talked about, that Darby Allin, Andrade, and Sammy Guevara match was amazing.
It was so good. And we said $500,000 is the magic number, really. That makes the network happy. And as long as you make the network happy, fine, whatever. We can bitch and whine all we want. It's still going to be on there. So best bang for your buck still. Rampage. Speaking of bang for your buck, these little kind of thrown together kind of thing pay-per-views that Impact's doing. I mean, Sacrifice this past Saturday, $10. You can buy it through their YouTube. You can buy it from fight.tv. $10, right? Got 9 matches of gloriousness, 3 title changes, 1 big introduction, and this wasn't even a big pay-per-view. This was just a little jobber thing, right? So Sacrifice I loved every second of it. So Trey Miguel successfully defended against Jake something. That opened it up. Then you had Eddie Edwards versus Rhino. And Steve Macklin came out to attack because you had all the Honor No More guys there. You had all the Impact faithful guys on the other side. And chaos is devolving all over the place, right? And here comes Macklin from the back out of nowhere, and he picks up the kendo stick, which Maria had thrown in for Eddie Edwards to use, and takes it and uses it on Rhino. But then he doesn't leave. He basically he's scolding all the Impact guys on his way out, telling he's the one who more or less saying, you guys don't trust me and look who betrayed you. Fuck you guys. Fuck everybody. He's doing this super lone wolf thing. So Macklin is a star. If you're not following Steve Macklin, or if you only have him as, what was he, Cutler?
Would you say he might be a forgotten son?
Well, yeah, I was trying to remember what his forgotten son Omen was. If it was Steve Cutler, right? Or was it?
Steve Cutler.
Yeah, okay. He was Steve Cutler back in NXT, and then technically they were called up.
Yeah.
But the old forgotten son jobber. I didn't appreciate him then either. This guy's got the stuff. I really believe it. He's fantastic. So the Influence, the Inspiration finally had their title match. And Caleb was banned from ringside by the Influence because the Inspiration's been getting in his head, right? They've been trying to turn him. Cassie Lee and Jesse McKay trying to turn him over, you doing mind games and shit. Well, he comes out anyway, throws a belt in the ring, which goes between Cassie Lee's legs into Tenille Dashwood's hands. She uses it, and they win. Now, did he mean to do that, or was he trying to give it to Cassie? Either way, new knockout tag team champions. Tenille Dashwood.
Interesting.
And Madison Rain. So that's cool. Then you had Jonah versus PCO in a match that I didn't think I needed to see, but I definitely did. I've seen a little PCO from GCW. He's been wrestling for 30 years. So he's been around, right? I've seen a little bit of him in GCW, but I'm not as familiar. Truth be told, when he starts doing like moonsaults off of the top rope onto Jonah on a table on the floor outside, I take notice. And then Jonah starts doing like double pile drivers to him on the steel steps that have been taken apart on the outside of the. I mean, they were just doing spots that these two giant men have no business doing, and they kept doing them. And they kept doing them. And it's just like, what the fuck? Why? It reminded me of the first time I had ever seen Keith Lee and Dynamite Dijakovic. It's like, that shouldn't be possible. What's happening? It's one of those matches. So after that, you had your wet dream of a match, to be honest. Jay White, Alex Shelley. Thank you. Give me more. It lived up to everything my heart contented would want it to be. It was. I didn't even have any notes other than just so goddamn good. That's all I wrote because I didn't know what else to write. It was what it meant to be. For $10, that was worth it alone. But I said you get all this other stuff. Then you had Deonna Purrazzo with her champ challenge. Anybody can come out and challenge for either one of her belts, right? Ring of Honor title, Reina Dorena's title, either one.
Yeah.
Chelsea Green comes out to challenge for the Ring of Honor title.
Okay.
And breaks her wrist in the middle of the match, or near the end of the match. Like legit.
Again?
Yes, legit. Same wrist too.
That's like the 5th time she's broke that wrist.
It's the 3rd time for sure that I know of. She's in a cast again. They played it wonderfully into the story, though. Because for a second there, because in real life, they're like best friends, right? Deonna and Chelsea are like best. I think Deonna's best woman in her wedding, for God's sake. So for a minute there, they broke kayfabe for a second. And then Chelsea obviously said something to the fact that we got to sell this. We got to make this work. So she kind of pushed. You saw her say something, and then she pushed off Deonna. And Deonna then does the Venus de Mile on her broken ass wrist, which looked very painful.
That's awesome.
And it brings out Mickie James, who is, all this stuff, right? And Mickie comes out in her ring gear with the belt and everything. She breaks up Deonna and pushes her off, all this stuff here. And that, of course, brings out Tasha Steelz because their match is up next. And she's like, you're in the ring? Let's fucking go. So they rolled immediately into the Knockouts title match and had this whole Mickey's flustered angle the whole time. I think this was the play. They just didn't plan on Chelsea actually breaking her wrist. Yeah. I think that this was meant to be the whole time. Either way, Savannah Evans came out, did some shenanigans here and there, and did cost Mickie James the win. Tasha Steelz is your new Knockouts champion.
So they had both women's belts change hands.
Both women's titles change hands.
Wow. That's amazing.
I know. And you still had 2 more matches. You had Violent by Design versus the Good Brothers. And Violent by Design are your new knockout champ, or your new tag team champions. they
dropping belts
AEW dropped 0 belts as their pay-per-view. Impact dropped 3.
That's crazy.
Plus, they ended with Moose versus Heath. Of course, Moose won, right? No question there. But Moose gets attacked afterwards
by
Josh Alexander.
Back.
Who pulls a microphone out and says, the whole bit about being sent home and all that stuff. No, Scott D'Amore was right. I needed a time to be with my family and cool off and recharge my batteries. Plus, it was nice being that I am from Toronto, that Anthem headquarters is about a mile from my house. So I made a stopover there one day, and he pulls out a contract. I signed a new long-term deal. I think he signed a 3-year deal, maybe 4. But is the real reality of it. But yeah, no, they re-signed him, got his visa squared away. Honestly, it's probably easier for the visa to expire and then do a new one than try to re-up it at the very end. I believe is what I heard. Anyway, I don't know. I'm no visa. I'm no immigration attorney. I don't know this shit.
Yeah, me either. Yeah.
Josh Alexander is back, and he has got a title match for Rebellion against Moose.
That's awesome. He's gonna win it too.
That was. I believe. I'm 100% agree with that statement. Yes, sir. So that was your and also $10 pay-per-view that Impact had. Like I said, wow, it's worth the money.
That's cheaper. That's a cheaper than a nickel bag that you could get from Jay and Silent Bob. Because everybody knows that's 15 bucks. Little man, put that shit
in my hand. All right. Let's talk about the fallout from not Sacrifice, because that happens tonight. We don't know what happened with that. But let's talk about the fallout from Revolution. Dynamite last night.
Yes. Dynamite, I would say, was fairly extreme. It was very, very good. I enjoyed it. There was a couple
beeping
parts
on your end.
Yeah, it was my dryer. My dryer sings songs.
Your dryer's really loud. Holy shit!
Oh, dude, you have no idea.
I'm sorry, I got totally distracted there. It was like Ruby Soho just walked in the room. And I was like, "Hey, Ruby."
Hi, Ruby. Haven't seen her in a while.
She's been on Dark and Elevation. It's okay. She's been winning.
So you in this show, just so we have this, we had a heel turn, a face turn, a title match, a number one contender match, a really spirited championship match. Pretty solid, actually, all the way around. It wasn't what I like to call their best show, but definitely planted seeds for the future. And I
agree with that summary statement 100%.
Like, it wasn't like knock your socks off for sure, but it was definitely like, ooh, I like where this could go.
Well,
and then I have one thing. I have one little thing, and we're gonna get to it.
Okay.
That I don't like.
Well, for what it's worth, AEW doesn't really do post shows super big. Usually. Generally because they go balls to the wall on their fucking pay-per-views. So.
And they absolutely did.
So, yeah.
All right. So you started off with a promo. We're going to put a pin in that promo because a lot to unpack there. Then you had the AEW World Championship match actually as your first match of the night.
Out of fucking nowhere.
Dante Martin versus Hangman Page. Good match. Actually, is a really solid ass match. Not knock your socks off, but I mean, again, Dante Martin is
He's not human. He's not human. He's from the Ray Phoenix school of not humanity.
Yeah, 100%. And then your winner and still AEW champion obviously was Hangman Page. Right after that, you had some things with Adam Cole, which I thought was great. And I had a thought of who. We'll get into that in just a second. But there's a piece.
I'm pretty sure I have the same thought you do. But go ahead.
Okay.
We're gonna keep.
Then after this, you had Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson with Lord William Regal against the Workhorsemen. That's JD Drake and Anthony Henry. Good match again. Like, I enjoyed this all the way around. Bryan Danielson and Moxley, and who I'm going to be dubbing, even though there are shirts already out there, Violent Gentlemen. I like it.
You know I'm a big Violent Gentleman fan, and
I know
Moxley is too. Actually, a lot of wrestlers are.
I know.
Do you think
I've seen him wear Violent Gentleman shirts?
Do you believe this could be the partnership that was meant to be? Violent Gentlemen making AEW shirts, because I think I got a chubby just saying that statement. If that's true, we shall see. We'll see about that.
As soon as they because they called him gentleman, like Lord William Regal.
But he did a promo with Tony Schiavone afterwards. It started off how it felt, and it dived into kind of a typical like managerial promo about his history.
Yeah, he called them gentlemen and like the perfect wrestler, which I agree. Bryan Danielson probably is the perfect wrestler, and then you have this violent.
He didn't say it, but the perfect sadist is what he should have said. But
well, yeah, he's like a sadist who's willing to do anything. Like, I forgot exactly how you put it, but either way, like, the future of this team gets my nipples hard just thinking about what these guys can do.
I want to see him actually make this into, like we talked about a few weeks ago when this was presented, especially now with Regal at the helm, and reportedly, as not a surprise, Regal's role is going to be partly in front of the camera and a lot behind the camera in the back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that's ever been through NXT raves about Regal, and has been around him, raves about him as a builder of stuff. So
yeah, and he said in his promo, people come to me to become better professional wrestlers.
Right. So he's going to make the women's division should benefit immensely from him. Anyway, but I would love to see them in front of the camera have a stable like we talked about. Like you pull
either violent gentlemen or perfect violence.
Well, okay, naming aside, I'm just talking about the substance of it.
No, I'm all about names.
Stay with the names all you want. But no, I'm just thinking, you pull in, the top flight, maybe, put them under your tutelage as well, or somebody like that. There's options to be had there, and I'm very excited to see them go this path because it also takes Moxley and Danielson and doesn't force them to have to be in the title picture, which technically they probably should, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you have them in this fashion, you can pull it out. So now you've got them in a better place for other people. You can let other stories continue to percolate the elite story, and then Kenny comes back. You have that. Miro re-signed a 4-year deal, so he can hop back in and get in a singles title match. Miro with them would be amazing, though.
Oh, Miro with them. I would say Daniel Garcia, but that's now changed.
Changed what happened earlier on. We'll talk about that here in a second. So,
yeah.
Anyway, this was great. This is cool.
Then you had Dark Order Hangman thing, which we'll get into that once we get into the other piece there. Wheeler Yuta with a broken arm, well, not broken armed, he's just hurt. Orange Cassidy, he's gonna be out. He's gonna be out some time for his
weeks.
fall.
It's not broken though. Thank God.
Yeah,
his
no
shoulders
break.
Jacked though.
Yeah, he faced Pac, and Pac beat the living shit out of him. It was an okay match. I'm not even gonna lie.
Again, Wheeler Yuta, like in New Japan, you watch New Japan Strong, and he's like Danielson to them. He's like doing amazing things and winning, and he's got all this skill. And then he feels like, and I don't know if it's just doing your chops or whatever, but it feels like he's jobbing over here in AEW.
A little bit, like he's paying his dues.
I don't get it because it's like I said on New Japan Strong, he is not. He is an upper mid card guy for sure, solidly in there, feuding with TJP, stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I
don't know. Don't get it.
It's different. I mean, he is like 23, so there is that.
That's a good point.
In a shocking turn of events, FTR fires Tully Blanchard. What the fuck?
I don't know what that means for Tully. I'm 100% sure that FTR is going to be taking some time and doing some other promotions for a hot minute.
Yeah.
They're rumored to be going down doing more Mexico stuff, potentially New Japan things for a little bit. So they might do a tour thing, kind of like how Minoru Suzuki does that. He'll come over here for like 2 months and then go back to Japan.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means for Tully though. It's like that's weird, right? They got to have a plan for Tully.
Yeah.
Or not.
No, there's got to be something. I don't know. Maybe he gets hooked up with somebody else who has a promo.
Yeah,
which I have problems with. Then you had a AHFO emergency meeting. We're gonna put a pin in that. Swerve Strickland, that's fine. Wardlow had an interview.
Swerve's debut is this Friday. Swerve's
debuting against Tony Nese,
which is actually going to be a great match. It's going to be a cool match, but
but we've seen it like 17 times.
I know.
I want to be excited about it, but I've already seen it. So Wardlow. So let's just talk about Wardlow before we get into like the rest of the stuff.
Sure.
Can I just say this? I know I'm gonna get heat. They should not give that man a mic.
I didn't think it was that bad.
I did not like it. I'm like, you could tell he forgot his lines a few times.
He did.
It's like, bro.
He is
a manager.
He is. No, he doesn't. He's got to learn how to do this shit. And if that requires him sucking for the first several times he
But
does
he's
it.
so hot right now. He's so hot right now.
He was still
needs
over. The
that.
crowd was still over with him in the arena there, even
I know,
though
but if he keeps cutting shitty promos, it's just gonna suck.
it's a less is more thing. It's been the
I
story
agree
of
with that.
it's been the story of many a men, especially larger men. Ironically, I don't know why that is, but the man who had a promo after him, a real quick little promo because that's all he ever does, Keith Lee, famously and admittedly to him, he will say to the world, not a promo guy. And what does he do? He usually cuts short ass promos at best.
Yeah, and that's what Wardlow needs to do.
I think he will, but I think he's got to learn because he is a John Cena, The Rock, Roman Reigns-esque quality of person you put on your marketing poster, right?
Yeah.
He is that. Skill, looks, he's got, everything. He's got the wrestling thing on him. He's got the looks about him. The women love him.
He's more shredded than Julian Saub, man.
So he's got to learn to do this, and unfortunately, we don't have a platform in AEW for you to spend a couple years getting the ropes in. You got to kind of learn on the fly. So
yeah,
I didn't think it was terrible. I
personally.
Hated it. I know
I'm
you hate
sorry.
it. That's fine. Different opinions. I didn't think it was great, but I think it was terrible. You could tell he was very memorized, and you could tell he was not off the cuff. But that's okay. The moral of the story is we have Wardlow confirmed full face turn. 100%.
100%. And based off of this promo alone, I am guaranteeing he is going to lose next week.
100%. There is going to be a 3-lettered individual who is going to interfere in that match and make sure that he is not the TNT champion. I would bet
100%.
I would bet as much money as I have on me on that match.
And then that makes him still his property.
Yes.
Basically, because of the contract.
So basically he tried to snake out with MJF. It's the thing, it's the way for it to go. And it's good for Wardlow because MJF can carry verbally that feud as well. So
yeah, and that's the thing too.
He'll get there, man. I'm telling you. Have faith in Wardlow. He'll get there.
Who would think a 24-year-old wrestler by the name of MJF would be giving the rub to Wardlow? Like, you think about that. Like, he's getting the rub. Even though Wardlow's over, but this is going to put him... So, this feud that's getting ready to happen, I think we both agree with this. This is going to take Wardlow from being a star to a superstar.
This might continue. This might just go tit for tat all the way up to Double or Nothing. It really might.
It might go further. I think it might culminate at All Out.
Wow, that's like 6 months.
That is the storytelling that this feud could have, and the possibilities. Oh my god!
If they weave it, I'm cool. So if they kind of go in and then come back, it's sort of what they did with Rosa and Britt. It was always a thing, but it wasn't always the thing. Right?
Exactly.
If they kind of go like that, and then just it explodes with like their rubber match of like magnificence at All Out, I am for that. That's cool.
Yeah, because I think they're gonna work this until May, until Double or Nothing
for sure,
and then that's where Wardlow's gonna get his freedom. Like that's the whole thing. That's the big play. Mm-hmm. He's gonna get his freedom. And then it's going to culminate with probably some kind of title match between the two. I'm expecting a TNT championship at some point between these two. And that will culminate it all out.
Okay. Well,
on it.
Let's see how it goes. This is a good first step, though. Like I said, he's got a long way to go, but he started on that path.
Mm-hmm. Next, we had the AEW World Tag Team Championship match of Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, formerly known as Jungle Express, going against
Jurassic Express.
Jurassic
you keep saying Jungle Express every time.
I don't care.
They're not even that anymore. It doesn't matter.
I know, it's dumb. going against arguably one of my favorite young tag teams. Probably it is my favorite young tag team, and the Acclaimed. And this match was great. Fun match all the way around. Had tons of great spots. Good match. But your winners obviously are still going to be Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus.
No surprise there.
Jurassic Express. They did the springboard Doomsday device, which looked really cool. Not as cool as the Thoracic Express that they do. They were called Jurassic Express, and then their finisher was called the Thoracic Express.
Which was fantastic. I love that. Anyway.
All right. Then you had the AEW Women's World Championship Eliminator. The winner of this would be the number one contender in next week's match at St. Patrick's Slam in San Antonio, Texas. Just by those things alone, I think we both know who won this, everybody.
This match.
Layla Hirsch and Thunder Rosa. Layla's okay.
Thunder Rosa was obviously banged up. Obviously. It wasn't, you can even see because she had her leg wrapped. She was definitely a step and a half slow tonight. And I think that coupled with maybe just a bad pairing, Layla Hirsch, it just didn't mesh. This match, as the only women's match too, which they have other promos they're doing. They have a Jade thing, right? And they have this. And they do stuff on Dark and Dark Elevation. They have a plethora. They have like 4 matches on Dark, and there are like 3 or 4 women's matches on Elevation, right? Sky Blue's getting a lot of time. Ruby Soho's up there with AQA, kind of leading her along, which I think was awesome because AQA's got a future. That girl can fly. Nyla Rose is in there, kind of keeping everything up. So you've got a lot, but on the actual main show, the big show for AEW, you get a single match and then a couple female promos here and there, right? So if that match isn't good, it makes the women's division look even worse, is my problem. If you have 2 matches, you can have a match that's a dud, and you can have the other match. It's like, okay, that was good, It was cool, right? This match was a dud. I'm sorry, it was.
It was, but Thunder Rosa won, so she's going to face Britt in a cage match, which now that excites me.
That got me going. This is
where
the belt's going to drop. She's going to, in her hometown.
Which
I know is kind of like a wrestling taboo thing. If you go to her hometown, you'll lose. It's supposed to be what happens, right? That's an old Vince trope. But I'm telling you, because if it's not, and this is the argument I had, I know, with Chris and Walter when we were talking about this. If it's not Thunder Rosa, what do you do? Even better, what do you do if you do give the belt to Thunder Rosa? Where do you go? Other than just back to the same thing you have with Britt and Rosa, because you haven't built up anybody else to be remotely close to this. Ruby comes in and is like for a minute, and she's out. And Statlander's here and she's out, Sheeta's back, by the way. Sheeta, which, by the way, Serena Deeb's 5-minute rookie challenge from this past Friday. I was right. I get a stamp this time because it was broken up at the end. She's beating the shit out of some local talent, right? And here comes Sheeta. Sheeta's the one that breaks it up.
So the only way I can see once Thunder wins for it not to go right back to her and Britt, just keeping this feud going forever, is they have to bring somebody from the outside, a big name from the outside, a bigger name from the outside.
Which I get that, and I understand. Okay, which is cool, right? You're thinking of Athena. I know you are, which is fine. I'm good with that.
Or Tay Valkyrie,
or Mia Yim.
Mia Yim makes a lot of sense, but I think I hate to say this, I like Mia Yim more for the TNT Championship.
Well, I don't care what it is. It feels like you've built these 2 titles to be in these 2 women's hands without a thought of anything else besides that is my problem.
And that's where Lord
William Regal is going to come into play. Yes. So it's going to be an amazing match next week, though. I predict that already. That's not even a prediction. We know it is. Do you want to do the title match, or do you want to save that for the end?
No, let's just go ahead and jump into the title match, because then we could talk about the promos, because that's what the show is mainly about, was these promos and this fucking match. Because my God, this match was amazing.
This is a lot better than I was expecting. Not gonna lie.
I knew it was gonna be good. I had expectations. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
And it hit them, which that's good. It actually exceeded a little bit because of how it ended. Because that was not the ending I was expecting.
I'm with you there. You're talking about Scorpio Sky and Sammy for the TNT title, by the way.
Yeah, so Sammy gets hurt by going for a 450 splash onto a table.
630.
Oh yeah, sorry, he did a 630, but yeah, you're right. But I thought it was more 450 because he hit.
Yeah, it was a 630.
Okay, well he's going for his 630. They for the longest time it was a big old work. It was fine. Paige Van Zant was at the side of the outside, and then Tay Valkyrie's out there, or not Tay Valkyrie. Jesus, I'm already saying Ty Conti.
All the women.
Yeah,
mixed
I'm all
up
about
here.
Tay Conti. So Ty Conti's right there, and she turns around, and Paige Van Zant is like right in her face, just talking mad shit at her. I'm like, ooh, I kind of like this idea.
Which is cool, but it also is the first time they officially have broached their relationship on television. On
his girlfriend. They said his girlfriend, I think, no less than 6 times.
Right. Right.
So anyway, so this match just goes back and forth. There's a lot of outside kerfuffle, if you will, just with the people, and with the happenings that happened earlier tonight. Sammy is by himself, 100%. Like he had no backup.
He has
other than
Tay.
Ty.
That's it.
Yeah, Ty. That's it. Well, I can't believe I'm saying this. Guy hits the TKO. 1, 2, 3. Your new TNT, hopefully 1 belt champion, Scorpio Sky. So America's Top Team has a belt, and then right after that, Paige Van Zant kicks Ty Conti in the face and signs her AEW contract, and she is officially All Elite. And we're already going to be looking at a tag match at some point of Sammy and Ty versus Paige Van Zant and somebody else, so they can get Paige learning.
Absolutely. And I think from what we've seen of Paige before, we all say she's got the look, she could talk. Right, it's going to be good for that. What does her in ring do? It's been a while since she was in UFC. She did bare knuckle for a little bit, but she's also been doing a lot of other things, right? So is she in combat shape? We don't know. I'm not a trainer, but I don't think so. Not pro wrestling combat. Let's put it that way.
That's fair.
But for seeing her tonight, she has some good-looking kicks and different things that she did when she did do them. In the past, she's done some slaps and stuff. It's like, but that's against like Jericho and shit. So I think I hope this is going to be a good thing. Anything they can do to better the women's division. This is at least, if nothing else, another feud line for them to run with. I mean, she did sign the contract on Tay's ass.
I mean, that's a solid place to sign it.
That's true. That's true. You gotta have somewhere to, it's a good place. But
I mean,
Britt
Baker
see where
talks about that. Everybody's seen it.
Everybody talks about it. Everybody knows.
That's
Everybody
one of
knows.
the best promos that Britt has ever done. When she's like, "You just flaunt your ass for everybody to see." I'm like, "Oh my god, Britt!" Like Britt doesn't give a fuck. That's why I love Britt Baker.
It was great. So anyway, yeah, I'm for it. I'm for Scorpio as champion.
I am too. Well deserved too.
Yeah.
It's time for Scorp to get it. Scorp is so damn good. I have nothing bad to say about the man. Like, he is such a phenomenal athlete. I thought he was going to win it last year when he was the face of the Revolution last year.
I did too. I 100% thought he was too.
But I was so pissed that Darby retained because I was never a big fan of Darby as champion because all of his matches are the damn same.
Get beat up for 15 minutes, flurry of action, get a pin. Coffin drop pin.
Yeah.
Yep.
As a singles competitor, that's what it is. I think I really do think his time with Sting is making him better for that.
Oh yeah.
I do.
And it's age, right? He's wised up. So there's 3 big promos of the night. I want to talk about Adam Cole and a little bit about that.
Let's go there. Yeah,
so start there. Adam Cole interrupts Hangman after Hangman's match. He calls Dante back, shakes his hand. Hey man, very encouraging. Rah rah, you kick ass. You're amazing. You're so good. I know you got tag team stuff going on, but when you're ready for another shot, I'm all for it. All that good stuff, whatever, right? And here comes Adam Cole in peak Adam Cole mode, coming out here, just like nope, not going to happen. And so he lays some solid heel promo work into Hangman, and then says, "Here's what we're going to do next week in San Antonio. I've already got it approved. You and me, we're going to have a 6-man tag match, and you can choose any 2 jokers that you want. Any 2, doesn't matter who you have, because I have the 2 best partners. These are my friends. These are people who are loyal to me." He keeps going on that. Later on, he's with the Young Bucks and Red Dragon backstage. And Matt keeps saying, "I told you, I don't want to get involved in any of this hanger stuff. I'm not getting involved with it." And he goes, "It's not, I wasn't even ask you guys. Of course it's Red Dragon. Come on, guys, let's go." And they leave. I think it's neither of them.
Same.
I think it's Silver and Reynolds.
That's who I think it is. That's the first thing I thought too. I'm like, oh my God. And how much of a stab would that be to Hangman? Because how shitty he's been towards them lately.
Well, he's been shitty, and he's been shitty to all the Dark Order in reality, but it's been
especially those
he's been poignantly pointed towards mostly Reynolds and Silver. And I think this is a way. Does this mean the Dark Order is going to be going heel? Maybe.
I would not mind that at all, actually.
I loved heel Dark Order. I loved them as that. So we shall see if that's really what it is. But there was a part where I can't remember when it was, but somewhere throughout the night, there was a promo too where the Dark Order's back there talking to Marvez. And here comes Hangman. And he's like, and they're like, hey, no, it's okay, Hangman, it's okay. And Johnny's like, hey, how about you tell me who's it going to be? Who are you going to choose? I got an idea. Alan Angel's like, I got an idea. Why don't you just totally throw it for a loop? How about you take me and Anna?
That was great. I did like that.
And then Hangman tells them, "Oh, sorry guys. I just on the way over here, I just ran into the Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. They wanted a shot at the Bucks, and I told them, cool. I told them yes. I didn't even. I'm sorry, And you could see Alex Reynolds might not get the screen time that he might deserve, but he has got face acting that can teach anybody here. Like you could see kind of like this whole range of emotions and all this stuff as Hanger's walking away. So I think it's going to be Silver and Reynolds. And it ties into BTE, I know. But Cole's doing it to get in mind games with Hanger. But I also think it's going to be leading to heel Dark Order. I really do.
I'm for it. Heel Dark Order is the best Dark Order.
100%. 100%. All right, so you had 2 other promos you want to talk about. There was the reveal and there was the turn.
Which one do you want to do?
Let's do the turn.
The turn. Okay. Yeah. So out comes Mr. Chris Jericho.
This opens the show, by the way.
Opens the show with Chris Jericho with his hair all down, not pulled back. I thought that was a little different. I haven't seen him do that in a long time.
Flowing.
Of course, I'm the one who notices that.
Of course you are.
I'm the little detail guy. Like I notice the little things.
You're the hair and makeup and wardrobe guy.
I definitely am. He says that his match at Revolution with Eddie Kingston may not have been his best ever he's had in AEW, and he says that he didn't live up to his word and shake his hand and blah blah blah, whatever. Then here comes out Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston says, "I got respect for you," and all those things, and says you are one of the best ever, and this and blah blah blah. You guys all saw it. The thing that really happened was here comes 2.0 and Daniel Garcia, and they hit.
They do the handshake. They do the handshake.
They finally do the handshake. I'm sorry. Yes, they finally do the handshake. Then here comes 2.0 and Daniel Garcia. They hit the ring and they come in attacking Eddie Kingston, and they go towards Jericho. Jericho falls down. It's like, oh. And then they lean on him. They don't really hit him. They just kind of lean against him and stuff like that. And I noticed that instantly. As soon as I saw him, like,
I didn't pay attention to that.
I saw what was going on.
You were looking at that, and I was looking at Santana Ortiz coming in the ring with a bat.
Yeah, then Santana Ortiz coming with a bat. They start clearing house, and they give the bat to Jericho, and they have Daniel Garcia held up. Santana does held up so Jericho can hit him with the bat, and here comes Jericho smacking Santana in the face with it. And then 2.0 and everybody else get back in there, and they start beating the shit out of those guys. And then at that point, here comes Hager. Hager's like, "What are you guys doing? What's going on?" Then he starts attacking Santana and Ortiz. It's like, what is going on? And then at this point, another new faction by Chris Jericho. He grabs it and says, "This is the Jericho Appreciation Society."
Don't love the name. Don't love the name at all.
Terrible fucking name.
Terrible name. Not to criticize, because most everything Jericho's done in the past, 25 years has been stellar, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is Inner Circle 2.0.
It is.
Is you, Jake Hagar, a young rising star in a tag team?
Shocker.
It's the exact same thing.
Good.
And that's the point of it. I think that's the point. It's meant to be a ripoff of the Inner Circle.
Yeah, his own ripoff, and I think he's got to play on that.
But I think it's for the benefit of Santana Ortiz, Eddie Kingston.
I do too. I think it's for everybody involved. Honestly, this is the Jericho rub for all of these people.
Sure, yeah.
But definitely Santana Ortiz and Eddie Kingston, because they're gonna get thrust into something. Hopefully, the reformation of LAX.
Oh yes, please.
But they won't call it LAX because they're all New York boys, so it'd be like NYC.
I mean, they're on friendly terms.
Works for me.
They're on friendly terms with Impact. They could figure something out. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So because of that, because of everything that happened, that's why Sammy was also alone, because everybody that he's been in an alliance with was unavailable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And to me, at the end of the day, I'm just kind of like, okay, sure. It's like, I know there's more story to it. That's the thing. I know there's more stuff going on, and I'm cool for that. And I have nothing against 2.0 and Daniel Garcia. And I think that, like I said, this is a knockoff in a circle, but that's fine. It is what it is. I'm just like, whatever. It didn't really excite me that much.
Yeah, no. Didn't impress me much. Okay. Anyway, all right. So after this, let's get into the. I don't know why.
All right. So the last thing we want to talk about was the AHFO summit.
Go for
it. AHFO emergency meeting, whatever the fuck it was called. It comes back from the ring, and they started it like, they just kind of rolled right into it. And, there's Matt Hardy, not in a suit. He's got Private Party behind him, pushing the blade over to the right, and in front of him is Jose and Andrade. And he's like, I know you called this emergency meeting because you want to fire me. You want to fire me from the faction that I started. And, Andrade is all like, tranquilo, relax, and starts digging into him about his appearance and why he doesn't want to go like this. And so Hardy kind of stumbled a little bit around his words a bit here. So, you'll know why in a second. If you watch, you already do know why, of course. But he goes into it, and it doesn't matter whatever it is. My children, he keeps calling Private Party his children. And my children will never. They're always with me, and we have three of the 5 votes at the board. So here's what we do: thumbs up if you want me to stay, thumbs down if you want me to leave. And then go one at a time. I'll go first. Thumbs up. Andrade, thumbs down. Right, and then
Jose, thumbs down.
Jose, thumbs down. And Private Party, thumbs up. And Matt goes, see, there's nothing you can do. And while he's talking, Private Party goes, boop, thumbs down. And Andrade says, see, that's the problem with you, Matt. You never learn to watch your back. What do you mean? What do you mean? He turns around, he sees that, and they jump him. And then it's just all 5 of them, 6 if you want to include Jose. We'll include Jose. 6
He deserves
of them.
it.
We'll include Jose. All 6 of them are beating the living shit out of him, right?
Mm-hmm.
When who comes out but Darby and Sting?
Ooh.
So Darby and Sting, who just fighting against, Hardy and all of them, they come out to try and make the save, right? But still, numbers are against them. So eventually they all get taken over. And then there's a second save that happens with a very familiar music. You get doon, 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 and here comes Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy, whose contract expired 2 days ago, or his no complete clause expired 2 days ago, was there last night. No surprise. Like we said, we know this is going to be happening for a while, but officially there. Massive pop, though. A lot bigger pop than I thought.
He got a massive pop because, honestly, that crowd was kind of dead all night. Not even going to lie. Like, that was kind of a disappointing crowd. But that crowd went ape shit when they saw him. And here's the thing, too. If you were paying attention to the dirt sheets at all today, there were talks that AEW is trying to get the rights to the Hardy Boys theme because that is actually not WWE property. It's owned by the actual artists who did it, and they got the license clearly because they played the Hardy Boys music, which I thought was pretty damn cool that you actually got to hear that there.
I mean, yeah, because you could have played Jeff Hardy's music from when he was in TNA, the Charismatic Enigma music, but that didn't age well. That was very 2003. And it's just like, so,
yeah. But Team Extreme is back, ladies and gentlemen. The Hardy Boys are back together. We're going to get a run of the Hardy Boys, and then eventually, hopefully, we get a run of Broken Matt and Brother Nero.
They have to. Please. They have to at some point because that is just. Please give me that. If you want to do a series of dream matches for to close stuff out, cool, right? Great. But give us the Broken Matt and Brother Nero. That's really the crown jewel on your guys' creative career was that.
Yeah, the Willow version of Brother Nero would be fun too, but
I was never really into Willow. I'm never into
I wasn't either. This kid I'm friends with, he actually has SMA. He loves, like, his favorite wrestler of all time is Jeff Hardy, and his favorite iteration is Willow. And I'm like, all right, dude, that's cool.
This dude at Chris's house that I was at was just going, I hope it's Willow, hope it's Willow. I'm like, why Willow? It's like, he loved the Willow.
It's a fun movie with Val Kilmer. Like, it's a fun movie.
There's apparently it's still eventually going to be a series on HBO Max. I mean, one day.
Cool.
It keeps getting pushed back, but that's another story. So, I don't know.
I mean, they just greenlit the Penguin series officially.
That's not a surprise.
Not at all.
Willow's been greenlit for like 4 years now, and it's still coming soon. So we'll see.
That's fair.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm fine with Jeff Hardy. I have no problem with it. I don't think it takes away from other talent. The danger is when you're bringing in people in, especially big name people, right? Is that takes a spot away, right? I don't think this does. It's a different scenario. So,
because now we can finally get the boys versus the Bucks.
Yes.
FTR versus the Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
Like, I want the Hardy Boys to get a crack at everybody.
Private Party in them is the big one because Private Party is the future Hardy Boys, right? In
agreed.
Essence. So,
totally
we'll get it. So things will be good. All right. Well, that was
Dynamite.
It was fine. I agree with you. It wasn't their best show, but it wasn't bad. I don't know, it okay.
Planted a lot of seeds for the future, which I did appreciate about it. But like overall, like especially after such a banger of a pay-per-view, there is going to be a little bit of letdown. I'm not holding it against them, but it definitely planted seeds for the future. So I'm excited about it.
It's weird timing too because they have pay-per-view, one Dynamite, and then they have St. Patrick's Day Slam, which they want to make big, right? and then they're going to have another Dynamite, and then they're going to have Battle for the Belts 2 on a Friday. And it's like, those Dynamites in between are going to be slim because they want to have the big payoffs, and that's a lot of payoffs in a short window. Unfortunately, just the way the timing went. So, it is what it is. Said. It is what it is. Okay, good. Well, that's what we got for this week. So, plenty more to come. We have Fallout from Sacrifice from Impact. We're going to talk about next week. St. Patty's Slam is next Wednesday. So we will see. Do we have a new women's champion? Will we get a new TNT champion? I mean, we'll see what happens. And anything else is going on here. Lots of goings on. I know there's a ton happening. March is kind of the quiet before the storm, because WrestleMania week keeps getting more ridiculous with all the bookings going on. Before WrestleMania, you've got GCW doing their 3-day event down in Dallas. Crazy stuff happening with that. Mission Pro's got a show involved with that. Impact is going to be in. Have you been seeing the promos and the things for the multiverse of matches? I think is what they're calling it for Impact. They're going to be doing a series of shows in and around Dallas at WrestleMania week, and it's just bonkers. And we'll talk about it next week a little bit when I talk about Impact, because some of these matches are just insane that they're booking. There's going to be an Ultimate X match. There's going to be, I think Minoru Suzuki is involved in one of them. You've got Eddie Edwards versus Tomohiro Ishii. You've got you've got Jay White versus Chris Sabin. Have him go against the other Motor City Machine Gun. You've got they keep just all these matches. I'm like, what are you doing, Impact? Where's this been all my life? So.
Wow.
Lots of stuff coming. Plus, we got 2 days of Journey Pro. We got DWF coming up. Oh my God, so many things happening in April. So I'll take a little calm before the storm over the next few weeks. So we'll be back.
Yeah. Same.
Well, we'll be back next Thursday. We'll go over everything. Keep an eye out. We got some more interviews coming along the way. Once again, go back, watch our Batman review if you want, or if you don't, just go do it anyway. But go check out our interview with JDX.
Actually, a lot of fun. JDX loves himself some Batman.
Blast. I know that's 3 times as long as everyone else's Batman review, but we marked out quite a bit, the three of us, to some. It's worth a good time. Go check it out. Let us know what you think. And also, let us know if you're kind of into that. If you like the idea of us doing, wrestlers not talking about wrestling, talk about video games or, movies or TV shows or,
a husband and wife doing the newlywed game.
We won't say who, but we're trying to make that happen because we need to make that happen. So keep an eye out and just let us know. Like I said, we'll take any feedback. Just give it to us. We can take it. If you don't like it, let us know. If you think it's awesome, cool. Suggestions, we'll always listen.
Nice.
That's all I got. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Jamie, do you have anything else?
Nah, thank you very much for staying with us to talk a lot about AE dubs.
All right, well, take us home, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not down at Total Spotfest, I have 4 words for you. The champ.
All right, guys, thank you for coming. We're going to go
here.